People are free to do whatever they like because they are not coming out openly to support Biafra because of their business interest, because they are selfish, because they do not understand what patriotism is, because also they were groomed by Fulani Janjaweed to do exactly what they are doing. That's the reason why they are the way they are. Our people, let me tell you something, everybody who was a multimillionaire after the war was a saboteur during the war. That's what they do. Everybody who was a multi-millionaire immediately after the war was a saboteur during the war. It has benefited most of our people over the years, and they are continuing in that very vein, which is very, very sad indeed. Very, very sad indeed. That is why we need a revolution. And in a revolution, you cleanse all these idiots. Of course, I'm not going to say what will happen to them. There will be no more. That I can assure you.
Okay. Ndubisi said, without reviewing plans, is there ongoing lobbying on Joe Biden administration on behalf of freedom? If so, is it already in motion? And second, the governor set up another security outfit. How do we intend to counter them?
First of all, the governors cannot and have never set up any counter security outfit in the East. That's number one. They cannot do it. They don't have the manpower. Because my message to our people is very simple. Do not join them. As simple as that. Again, I'm not at liberty to divulge precisely what we are doing in respect of our ongoing consultation on Capitol Hill. That will continue. Some of you may know that we have retained the services of a very top consultancy firm on Capitol Hill, and that work is ongoing. I am not at liberty to divulge more than that. But what I can say to you is that after very many years of trying, the U.S. State Department have now come to realize that the Fulani intention in Nigeria is to overwhelm and conquer everybody. It is not about pastoralists and farmers having a clash. No, the Fulanis came to conquer, to pillage, to occupy, and to decimate, and we are not going to allow them to do that. And I'm very, very glad that the U.S. State Department, after many years of lobbying, and at a very huge expense, have come now round to adopt our position on that very matter. And stay where you are and compass. If you have any questions to ask, please make sure that you send it via Twitter. Send it via Twitter. I think it is on my wall, if I'm not mistaken, or you go to my Twitter page or handle or whatever they call it, and you give us your question, and I will ask you, Chen, later on to try and read out some of those questions, the very pertinent ones. But today we are live, we are direct, we're letting the whole world understand this, and Nigerians in particular. The Nigerian youth that did us so, you made us proud when you came out for End SARS protests, but you're going to come out one more time. The Nigerian youths, prepare yourselves. You are going to come out again to try and defend your right to exist in the land of your ancestors. People talk about tanker explosion. I want to ask you this question. You know, a lot of people don't understand what the Janjaweed, the Fulanis have in store for us. Every time we hear about a tanker explosion somewhere, why don't these tankers explode in the north? Why are they not exploding in the north? I ask, why is it that all this gas explosion, these cylinders exploding and killing people doesn't happen in the north? That is to tell you that they know what they're doing. It's part of the coordinated attack to deplete the populations of the south, to make us become very fearful, and to make us easy prey for the taking by Janjaweed terrorists from the Sahel. Even those who supported the coming of this Janjaweed government, this terror organization. Now it is clear to my Yoruba friends that what you have in Asorok is a terrorist organization masquerading as president, because there's no Buhari. Everyone knows that very well. There's no Buhari. What you have is a terror organization masquerading as presidency, now coming out to defend what is in effect indefensible. And it is very, very sad that we have the likes of Wike in River State. Pensioners are being owed money. Pensioners are being owed. There are no pensions, no money to pay pensioners. But he found 500 million to send to Sokoto. I told you about him and Tambuwal. He wants to run under PDP as vice president to Tambuwal. Wike. That was why he came and he emptied Obibo, sent people to jail in the north, and some of them were killed. And he's a so-called political leader. That is what we are facing. That is what we are being forced to endure, and that must come to an end. Some of you don't know what we're encountering on a daily basis. It costs us a lot of money to bring out our people once they are arrested or detained illegally. We are fighting, and we are spending a whole, load of money, to be honest with you, to try and get them out. And the judges in the East are not helping. Igbo judges are not helping. None of them are helping. Because they, for instance, in Imo State, judges are not being paid. So when they arrest IPOB family members, a judge expects to get his pay from there, which is very, very sad indeed. And that is why our people are being detained, and they're asking us to pay them money, which is very, very sad. These are people that have done nothing wrong. They've not broken any rules, not broken any laws, but they are being arrested at the moment, and our judges are not helping matters. And we don't want to be against them. We don't want to go against all these judges. No judge in the north is jailing proper terrorists like Mieti Allah. They are not in jail. Nobody's convicting them. But our own judges, I don't know what's wrong with our people. Our own judges will be there delaying and making life difficult for people who are actually fighting for their own freedom. And I must warn them that they are aiding the march of the Janjaweed terrorists into our territories. They are using us to make money. Our people must understand this. They are using us to make money. They are not paying the judges. Most of them have not been paid for about 6-7 months. So when you arrest an IPOB family member, that becomes a way for you and the police to make some money. And we are saying that that is blatantly wrong, and we can no longer accept nor support it. The reason why the march towards freedom has been delayed is because most of you think that the governors must be involved. The stupid Janjaweed groups like Ohanese must be involved. That's the mistake you're making. We outnumber them. The same way we outnumber Nigerian army by almost 100,000 to 1. If we want to make a change in our lives, we can make that very change. If we want, we can change it. If there is uprising in the east and the west and the middle belt, do you think that Nigerian army and police can have the numbers to quell it? Of course not. So that is why they will use the newspapers to tell you it's about ethnicity, it's about religion, to get into your mind. Once we come out, there's going to be a revolution. Once we come out again, everybody must hold their territory. Nigeria hasn't got the army to go around. Never. They don't have it. Their army is about 150,000 men. Peanuts compared to what they are going to confront. We must rise up and say that enough is enough. But there must be no criminality. Once you allow criminality to come in, then you have failed woefully. We have failed woefully. And let me also warn once again, there is no Biafran army. DSS can go and create whatever group they like. Give them guns, all of that rubbish, in order to justify an attack against ESN. But we are letting the whole world know that we have not floated any Biafran army. There is none. Anything you see is the handiwork of DSS. If anybody has the courage to float an army, then they should come out, as I did with ESN, to say so. I claim responsibility for the formation of ESN. Anybody that created or that claims that he or she created Biafran army must come out and also do so, because I know it's DSS. They can never ever do it. They can never ever do it. I don't know where they shot the clip. I have no idea where they shot it. I have no idea. But I can assure you that we are looking for them, and we are going to find them, because they want to provide a legitimate cover or excuse for the Janjaweed army to invade the territories of Biafra. That's not going to happen. That's not going to happen. And on that note, we have come to the end of our broadcast this very day. And I do not know if we have any more questions to take. If people have actually decided to send in more questions, if they have done so, I want very difficult questions, please. I want difficult questions, please. But as I say so, please be minded. Note that there is nothing called Biafran Army. All we have is Eastern Security Network. We don't operate on the streets of our major towns. We are in the bushes, hunting terrorists And they are feeling the heat, I can assure you. That is the only thing I want my Yoruba brethren to do. Do something that we are doing in the East, and we are all going to be free. And as we are doing it, our march towards freedom is going to come via a revolution. Spontaneous, across the board, middle belt, the entire South. Everybody is going to rise up to say enough is enough. If you don't do it, you will live in perpetual bondage. Uchenna, can you hear me?
I can.
Yeah, do we have any more questions?
Yes, we do.
Yeah, please go ahead.
Okay. Jessica, Jesse stated, "Good morning, sir. My question this morning is, since you said that you won't be the president or prime minister of Biafra when it comes,
yes,
is there any plans to get a Biafra government, or are you going to be the interim president until we get an elected government?"
No, I will not be. The Biafran people will choose who will lead them. They will decide. It's not for me to impose anybody on them. Biafran people will decide who is going to lead them. Because we are Democrats, we are Republicans, and we believe in what the entire public says, not a few individuals. Very, very important to understand that. Thank you very, very much. And on that very note, we have come to the end of this very broadcast this very day. In the coming weeks and days, there may be need or reason for us to come back on air to keep you updated. But for now, please bear this in mind. Anybody telling you about Biafran Army is working for the zoo, is working for DSS. Anybody telling you there is need for an army to march at this point in time, they are looking for an excuse to try to make our life difficult. They want the Janjaweed army in the bushes to remain, sorry, the terrorists in the bushes to remain, and we're not going to tolerate it. Thank you very much, all of you, for watching and for listening right across our platforms. From me, from here, it is still good morning.